Oh, I forgot to do the intro.
Do it.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games for the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the prisoner of this episode, Andrew. With me, the nightmare in the Emperor's dream, Keith,
Hello.
and our furry, Khajiit, Aaron.
That was awful. Andrew, you have really butchered this. You were supposed to say, and I had to write this for you, uh, claims to not be a furry, but he's a Khajiit, Aaron. That was what it was supposed to be.
I thought mine was funnier because it first
It
sounded
didn't.
like you are a furry with that pause, and then I clarified.
It
Well,
just sounded
alright.
like you paused for a second.
It did. It just sounded like you kind of got lost again.
It's par for the course here. But anywho, thank you all so much for joining us. Real quick, just little notes here. Make sure you join us on our Discord and on our YouTube. We record every Wednesday. We always love having people in our chat coming by and say hi and hanging out with us. If you join it, and also too, we love to give prizes away in our Discord. So come on by and say hi. But this week we played Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered by Bethesda Studios. Oblivion Elder Scrolls 4 is, or Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, I reversed it there, is, of course, it's an RPG. Not just an RPG. This is a classic RPG. This is an RPG that originally came out in 2006 that really kind of helped. Honestly, I'm going to argue, I don't know if you guys would agree or disagree, but this is the grandfather of modern day RPGs. A lot of things that were introduced in this game are kind of the new standard. But you are playing a prisoner. You start off in a prison, and you find the emperor who's coming. He's trying to escape. There's a big conspiracy going on, and you just happen to be caught in the path, and you find out that your fate is somehow tied to him because soon the gates of Oblivion are about to open all over Cyrodiil, and you got to try to stop the incoming apocalypse. But going around, I guess I'll start off. Well, before we get into our gamer pass or whether or not we recommend this game, I want to ask you guys: have you ever played Oblivion before? Because we were in high school at this time.
I wasn't in high school at this time. You were.
6?
No, Aaron and I
Oh,
graduated in
that's true. We
2005.
did graduate in 2005.
Oh, I graduated 2006. Oh, yeah, I was a senior.
I was about to slam dunk on you so hard, Keith. We graduated the same year. I did play this game. I do not remember a whole lot of it. I said in the Discord the other day, and I was wrong, or I might have said it on the live stream, maybe. I don't remember which one I said it on.
Oh, I want to talk about your live stream, Aaron.
Well, I know we're gonna roast me about the live stream. I get it. It was bad, so I don't really want to talk about it, but we will. Uh, I thought this was a original Xbox launch. Like I thought this was on the original Xbox. I thought about that though. That was Morrowind.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
So
Well, I don't know if it was a launch, but it was early at least.
no, yeah. It wasn't. I don't think it was a launch, but it was on that console. So I think I actually got this a little bit confused with Morrowind. I think I played more Morrowind than I did Oblivion. However, I did remember these portals. So I know I definitely did play this game. And I remember the city. I remembered the intro. I remembered a lot of that stuff. Um, so I did play it, but I remember very little about it.
So I got my first Xbox like 2009, 2010. So I wasn't an Xbox guy at the time, but I did play it sometimes at your house. And I remember because I just to this day can recall it like came flooding back as I was playing it, that opening scene going through the sewers with the emperor and everything. And I distinctly remember that, but I don't think I ever played much more of it back then. And so yeah, that's probably about the extent of my experience prior.
Well, and for me, I played this on launch day. I remember when this was coming out, actually did not know much about this game, which is very surprising because Aaron said me and him, we loved Morrowind. I remember that in the original Xbox. I remember playing a ton of that game. That game's rough. I still have memories of it where I'm like, I cannot believe how much time I spent in that game because there's moments of it. Those birds that constantly kept attacking you just still to this day haunt my dreams. I hate those birds in Morrowind. But I remember going over to my friend's house because he had this game. He got it for his PC. I didn't realize it was out for Xbox. And I remember watching him boot it up, playing the intro, and he was telling me about it. And I was like, all right, I got to go to GameStop right now and get this game. And sure enough, I did. I got it for the Xbox 360. And I just remember I just played the snot out of this game. But I also will say this game is also a curse for me because as we'll get into it, this game has a lot of jank to it. And I was so close to 1,000 gamer score this game, but I never completed the Fighters Guild because one of the quests was glitched and I couldn't complete it. So I will say this game I also hate because I have like one achievement that I have not gotten because it glitched on me.
And back in those days, in the 360 era, I think updates were pretty rare on games. Like, obviously, nowadays with PC and with the current state of consoles, updates are regular. Even on single player games, like games get fairly regular updates and bug fixes all the time. So if that thing was bugged, that probably stayed bugged.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember booting it up like a year later, and it's still. I specifically remember it's a Fighter's Guild mission where you have to go to a town. The town's missing, and you find out that there were trolls in the cave, and so you're trying to find the missing citizens in the cave. And my mission was to kill all the trolls. And I think there's a troll that's like stuck under the map, so I can't kill it, and that's how it got bugged.
So annoying.
Yeah, so I was like, well, this sucks. But anyway, for the Elder Scrolls Oblivion 4, I don't know why I keep reversing this here, but this is a definite game. I I'm trying to think of this as me as someone who loved Oblivion, as opposed to someone who's never gone into Oblivion. Like if you're someone who's only played Skyrim, because obviously Oblivion's very old. I have a friend who is obsessed with Skyrim and he tried playing the OG Oblivion and he was like, man, this feels just really old and dated. I think if you have never played it and you're first going into Oblivion, my advice, give it a couple hours. One, the more you play it, you start to see this game's charm. It is super janky. It still feels a little old. It still keeps a lot of kind of the mechanics of it. But this game has so much charm. It's so funny in an unintentional way. This game to me was just, as soon as I started playing it, I was like, oh man, this feels so tame compared to RPGs today. But the more I kept playing it, I was like, this is a blast. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Yeah, I'm giving it a definite game. This remaster is great. It literally is a nice coat of paint on an old game and it feels great.
So I think that's kind of my issue. And it's an issue might not even be the best word for it. So as I mentioned, my real prior experience to this was I have memories of it. I can absolutely say I played it in the past, but I don't have the same fond memories. I didn't play hundreds of hours of it or however many hours of it back in the day. So I'm really just looking at this mostly with a new skin of paint on an old game that doesn't have a lot of draw to me. Do I think that there's a lot of mechanics to it that are even in some days modern RPGs just not really fleshed out and done well that they do here? Absolutely. And so I think so I will say that it is a game. It's not the definite game for me because I think because of the nostalgia, but I also would say that probably down the line you could probably find at least 5 games that would be a better option over this despite what it is, and it would be more of a go back and play to kinda see where these games got their roots from.
Yeah, uh, it's a game. I wouldn't give it a definite game, but it is a game. Obviously, it'd be really hard to look at this and say this is a pass, just because Andrew is right. Like there is clearly some pedigree here. Bethesda is a studio mainly on the backs of 2 games, and that is the Fallout series and the Elder Scrolls series. Like, Bethesda Studios owes everything they are to those 2 series of games. So you can't really look at this and be like, "Oh, this is the pass on this." Um, it I don't have any nostalgia attachment to this, as we've already established. I've played it. I just don't really remember much about it. I didn't have that moment Andrew had, where it was like, "I have got to play this game." It's kind of fun to go back to this though and revisit it a little bit because, yeah, it's old. Yeah, it's still got its jank, but it's also really expansive for just the game that it is. It's kind of surprising to me how much voice dialogue is there.
Even
How
though
much
there's like
things.
four voice actors.
Yeah. But don't even get me started on Sean Bean. Good call on the stream the other day, Keith, because that dude's voice acting is incredible.
I mean, I had to
Uh,
look it up truthfully,
well, yeah, I know you
As
did.
soon as I heard, I forgot he
because
was
I
in it. As soon as
because
I
I
heard it,
thought
I
it
was like, "Oh, Sean Bean."
my first thought was Mel Gibson.
Yeah, with he kind of looked like Mel Gibson. The Sean Bean doing voice acting in this is incredible. So there's a lot there where you're like, this is really impressive when you consider when this game came out. I wish that this game did have the feature though, where just like in the Master Chief Collection, where you could kind of toggle the graphics because the graphics look good, but I am always wondering in the back of my head, like, how much has this changed? Like, I
A
kind of,
lot.
I know it has, obviously, I know it has, but I wish I had the ability just to toggle it because I feel like that would just add that much more appreciation for how good this game looks. It's crazy that this game was being built. It's crazy that they shadow dropped this. Um, it's pretty impressive all around.
Sort of shadow dropped
Well,
it.
it was a known that it was
Everyone knew it
coming
was
at some
coming.
point, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so rumors started hitting pretty recently, and then it really ramped up over the last month, where there started to be these kind of rumors that this could drop any day now. And that's when everyone is like, "Wait, so this is real?" And it's
So wait,
just gonna
nobody even knew they
come out
were
one day.
working on this until the last couple months?
No, it
Because
wasn't.
that I find surprising.
I okay. So
They
I'm
never
obviously
announced it.
yeah. They never announced it. I'm more
So
into the gaming news. They people knew about this about a year ago.
that's that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, no, more than a year ago. This came up in the Activision lawsuit, the Blizzard Activision acquisition
yes,
lawsuit. They had a list and it said Oblivion remaster or like Elder Scrolls remaster or something like that.
yes. So there was, but why you have to say this really isn't official is because technically no company said it was actually coming until they announced it and said it was coming out today. So it was shadow dropped. So was it rumored? Did everyone know that it existed? Yes. But Bethesda never publicly came out and said, "We've got this game coming. You can pre-order it," or anything like that. It just showed up one day.
Which is really odd. Like, why especially too, about 2 or 3 weeks ago before the launch, the company Virtuos oh, I forgot to mention that. This is obviously developed by Bethesda, but the remaster is done by Virtuos. Virtuos on their website went, "Here are the pictures of the remastered." So they leaked it themselves, and people knew it existed. And then people knew the date because if you went to Microsoft's AI support, you literally could type, "When does the Elder Scrolls remaster come out?" And it actually gave the date. Well, it gave Monday and it came out Tuesday, but it was obviously close enough.
I saw people online that were doing the old New Zealand trick. So they were changing their Xbox to New Zealand and boom, the remaster was there a day before. So at least a day before everyone confirmed it's right here. Uh, and they said that they were having an announcement that day, so everybody knew what the announcement was. None of that stuff was surprising. So the remaster itself, from my understanding, is its bones, its structure is the original Oblivion game. All of that stuff, the engine side is all exactly the same. On top of that, the graphics, and some of the other mechanics, that's all done in Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
So there's like 2 different layers happening here. So like when you're getting that kind of original jank and all that stuff, that's the bones. That's the stuff they did not change. But everything on top of it that you're interacting with and visualizing, that is all done with. And I think that's what that other third party did. Is they basically put the nice shiny layer on top of it. What'd you say it was Virtuoso or whatever the name
Yeah.
is? I know that
Virtuos.
I think Bethesda publicly thanked them for their work on the job on the game. So
I mean, they did
again,
a great job.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of a cool idea, and I appreciate that too. Like, I appreciate that these guys recognized the jank and stupid things of this game, especially the stuff that kinda dates it, is what makes the game interesting. It's why people love it. I'm glad that they didn't remove a lot of that stuff. They kept a lot of that in there. And to me, that's again, I'm just kind of understanding when you're remastering this game. Here's the things you want to remaster. You want to remaster your leveling. You want to remaster a little bit of your combat that doesn't quite work, and you want to remaster the graphics. That's perfect. That's all you need to touch.
I mean, it goes so far as I was watching one video where someone pointed out there's like a classic bug, I guess, where after you escape from the prison, you can go back and like basically you like double talk to some guy or something, and it triggers some weird glitch where you can just infinitely pickpocket somebody just over and over to get yourself up to the very max. And they kept that in there. So it's like they knew like, hey, these are the things like they didn't let the game itself be the nostalgia factor. They let every little quirk about it be part of the nostalgia. So like that's kind of cool. And I guess I don't know. It's like they threw a bionic suit on it, right? Like it's still all the same thing underneath, but now it just works better.
This game's super easy to exploit.
Yeah, yeah, there's a ton of it. There's a I saw another one. So even before doing that, when you're escaping through the tunnel, so before you even leave the prison, there's like a section where one of the goblins kind of like walks to a fire and he just stands there. You can go into sneak, walk up against the wall next to him, he never sees you, and you will just instantly gain like, you just keep gaining your levels on sneak. So either you do the pickpocketing thing or you do the goblin thing. Like, there's, like, multiple ways to exploit this, which I'm totally cool with. It's a single player game, so who cares? I don't really care about exploits in a single player game. Heck, these games, Bethesda is known for allowing the mod community to go absolutely ham on them. Although in this one, mod support is not officially supported. But to me, yeah, go for it. If it's not a multiplayer game, your exploit doesn't hurt anybody else, then I don't care. You should be able to do that.
Well, it's interesting actually because I saw something about that too, where it's what Sky Oblivion is like the biggest mod for the original Oblivion, and they actually, as I understood it, gave a copy of the remastered version to every member of a, whether it was the people who were like the admins or mod creators or even who played it. But it's like basically like a thank you, like saying if you guys hadn't done this and kept the game going through these mods, we would have never had a reason to even do this in the first place. And it was and I don't even think they're shutting down like the ability to use the old ones and use the old mods because like you said, Aaron, they're just going to say, okay, you can't do mods on this. And I think even that has a lot to do with the Unreal 5 part of it more so than them even disallowing it. So it's like it could still happen, but they
It
they
it just
they
doesn't
really
have
appreciate
official
their
support.
community. Yeah,
It
and like
doesn't
you
have
said, they
official.
appreciate the community, and that means something.
Yeah, from what I've gathered, people are creating mods for it. Like, that is actually happening. It just doesn't have official support, so I don't think there's, like,
So I
official
could
tools
make
for it.
my lizard naked.
You
That's what I'm
100%
hearing.
can. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure that mod probably already
In
exists.
4K
Uh,
HD, no less.
I know within, like, 5 minutes, someone created, like, a hentai sword, like, had, like, images
oh,
on it.
I'm sure, yeah. I I think speaking of I think Bethesda, honestly, as far as I can tell, at this moment, as far as it goes for, like, major publishers and developers, they have to be the most mod friendly out there. And I know they've received criticism for some of their most recent Fallout ones because they started charging for mods, so they started to monetize it. But even just the fact that that stuff is kind of open ended for them, and they have such a history of allowing it. Have you guys ever seen? I want to say it was for Fallout 4. Basically, it was like it's just a small development team, maybe like 4 or 5 guys. They made Fallout London as a mod, and it is a full
Adamfall?
blown game that they just
Yeah, with, like, voice acting and everything too.
they
That's
just
crazy.
they basically just built an entire game. And the rumor is that the next Fallout will actually take place in London. Has been one of the rumors that have been going around. It's just a rumor. I don't know if any of that is true, but there's been some talk about that. So I wonder if, much like you just mentioned, Keith, if they're inspired by that stuff, if they see some of this mod stuff and they say, "Hey, this is actually pretty interesting. Like, this is actually a pretty interesting idea. Maybe that's something we should pursue it." You know, because Andrew, you do kind of bring up an interesting question though. Why does this exist? Why did they create this? My initial thought is if you're gonna create something like this, it's because you want people to be excited about something coming. You
Which,
wanna bring
they're
in
currently making Elder Scrolls 6, and
but
that is far in development. They said that's not gonna be coming out for another, like,
no,
4
no, no.
years.
Like, you should probably rephrase
Or
that.
sorry,
Far in
far
development sounds like
behind in development.
Yeah.
Okay, there
Yeah.
far in
Because at
development
first I
makes
was
it
like,
sound like
"Where's
it's
he
coming
going
up.
with
Yeah, that's
this?"
true. It's
So
far behind in development. There we go.
because that was my thought is when you do something like this, to me, you do it because you wanna bring in a new community. You wanna bring in a group of people that have not played a Skyrim game, or I'm sorry, an Elder Scrolls game, and so this is how you wanna introduce them is by doing something like this. But what weird timing because I don't think the next game's coming out anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, because they can't remaster Skyrim.
You
That game
don't
has
think
come
they
out s
can?
that game has come out so many
Why
times.
not?
Are you challenging them?
Has it been remastered in Unreal 5?
No, but it's been, like, remastered, like, 3
Don't give them
times.
ideas.
Okay, but it
There's
hasn't
literally
been
so many
done in
versions.
Unreal 5.
We don't need it.
I mean, and that was my guess is they kinda did this to be like to still keep the fire burning for it. Because I mean, obviously, so I've heard a lot of rumors too that they're now gonna be doing a Fallout 3 remastered, which to me makes way more sense due to the fact that the TV show's going on, and that did very well, and they're working on the season 2. People are very excited for it. So, I wouldn't be surprised if the Fallout one isn't too far behind.
Yeah. Eh, so, Andrew, you obviously have a deeper connection with both of these series. But if you had to choose, would you say you're an Elder Scrolls guy or would you go a Fallout guy?
See, I would say Fallout because I love sci-fi. Sci-fi is always generally my bread and butter. But when I think back at the games that of these games that I've played, I have way more fonder memories of Oblivion and honestly, even Skyrim. Skyrim, I do love Skyrim, but it just Oblivion was like guess and Morrowind. I loved Morrowind. I still remember like it's like burned in my brain. Do you remember Morrowind, the first city when you leave, that guy who just falls out of the sky and dies, and he has these scrolls that let him jump super high? Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, at that moment, just always I remember because when I first played, I'm like, What had just happened? A guy just randomly fell out of the sky." Like, there's so many moments in it that I'm just like, "This is awesome." When I think of the Fallout series, there's not as many moments that just, like, blew me away, but I love the Fallout series because I love the sci-fi, and I love that universe. So, overall, I would say Fallout, but I have more memories, though, of Oblivion or Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I would wonder where most people would land on this. Because obviously Skyrim's been remastered, as we've just said, like 15 times. So clearly there was a deep love for that game. But to me, I always think of Fallout as the more it's more recognizable. Like,
I mean, it's older.
it's much more of, like, a recognizable property. Yeah, I guess that's true, but nobody really plays the first Fallout game.
Actually, I'm actually curious if it is older.
Because do you
I'm
remember Elder Scrolls 1
I mean, yeah, I forget what the first one is the
or
first one called
2?
Arena? Once one it's either 1 or 2 is called Daggerfell, and then, like, I think it's the first one's Daggerfell and the second one's Arena.
I
Yeah,
kinda do remember that Daggerfell. Man, you
because
might be right on
those
that one.
are on Game Pass PC.
Mm.
So you can play all the OG Elder Scroll games on Game Pass PC.
I don't know if you'd want to, but you can.
Yeah.
That is
I
an
mean,
option
because 'cause
for
they're,
you.
like, text-based adventure games, and that's how the original Fallout was too. It was like a top-down,
Yeah.
mostly text, turn-based. But anyway, we
Eh,
should start this episode.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead,
maybe
Keith.
I was gonna say, tell us the story, Andrew, but also I was gonna lead it in with the question of like, that said, it sounds like you can pretty well get away with not playing the first 2. How important is playing Morrowind, would you say, to playing Oblivion?
Not at all.
No?
So that's why they're called the Elder Scrolls. It's all on, like, one continent. Like, if you look at the map, like, they have each one of them is kind of based off an area. So
you
Daggerfell is this, like, southern area. Skyrim is above Cyrodiil, which Oblivion takes the place in Cyrodiil, which is the middle. So it's just, everything happens on the continent, but they're not really connected stories. They're all drastically different in time. I think Skyrim is far in the past, if I remember. I can't remember. It's somewhere in the it's different. It's a way different time than Oblivion. Like, it's supposed to be, like, hundreds of years. like in a difference.
I I've seen videos, I don't know if this is true or if I'm just being lied to by the internet, um, but people say you can see Skyrim
Yep, they
in
added that in the
Oblivion.
remastered. If you go way north,
Uh,
you can actually see it's called the, Throat of the World, the most famous mountain, and you can see that.
yeah, okay. What that's cool. That's cool. So that was completely added in there, that wasn't something that was originally in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. I like that stuff.
um, alright, yeah, so I was right, the first Elder Scrolls was Arena, and that came out in '94, and then Elder Scrolls 2 was Daggerfell, then Morrowind, then Oblivion, Skyrim.
Interesting.
But anyway, let's get into the story. Let's start this episode. Now they're like 25 minutes in. So the story of Oblivion, as I said, you're starting as this kind of no-name character, in which you can create your character any way you want, which we will talk about a little bit later. That the character created in this game is absolutely wild in the best way. But yeah, you're in a prison. You don't know why. Irrelevant. All of a sudden, the Emperor shows up. You find out he's being chased by assassins, and but the Emperor knows something about you. He's seen your fate, or at least how you kind of play a part in the story. So you kind of join the Emperor, but of course he doesn't make it, and tells you and tasks you with trying to find his last son because all his other children were assassinated. So you are going on this grand adventure to find the last son because the last son is the key in order to close these Oblivion gates as the Daedran prince is trying to come and destroy the world of Oblivion, or the world of Elder Scrolls. How'd you guys get with the story? Like, this game is perfect meme is that perfect meme of, the world is ending, but you are completely ignoring it and just doing side quests. But
Yeah, I mean, there's literally gates to hell opening up, or Oblivion,
which
aka
is
hell.
essentially hell. It's
Yeah.
it's a fiery
So
landscape.
yeah, so the gates of hell are opening up, and you're like, I really gotta go drop off this lion pelt at that statue, though. Like that's kind of important right now, so I'm gonna do that. But again, every game has that, right? But but yeah, no, it's fantastic. I think it gives you a very good like, hey, here's what's going on. It's like the emperor just kind of like lays it all out. Now, I mean, it's 20-year-old game. I don't know, spoiling it, not spoiling it, whatever. Do you not you find the son right away? Does does it take a while for him to like actually become the king? Is that kind of like is it like one of those like every time you turn like you're like, oh, okay, here's where we get you on the emperor's throne, and then something bad happens and you have to do another other quest to like
No, I'm pretty
progress
sure if
that?
you beeline this story, it's like 10, 12 hours.
Okay, so because I was gonna say I had him like at a keep already. I was like, so when you said grand adventure to find him, I was like, it wasn't really all that grand. And as a matter of fact, you can fast travel immediately.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Which I
we
can't
can
remember if you
wait a
could do
little
that
bit
in
to
the
talk about
original.
that.
I think you
So
could.
I guess we can wait to get into that on gameplay. But yeah, I mean, you can literally find him in 5 minutes, unless you're Aaron. Which that was entertaining to watch.
I would say entertaining. It physically hurt me watching you play that, Aaron.
But yeah, I at least felt like I knew what I was doing and like what the purpose of why I was. Now I will ask the question that I'm stealing from Aaron. Do you ever find out any purpose to yourself outside of just like, I don't know, the emperor saw you in a dream and you are like, do you get an actual backstory outside
No,
of the weird little, the lore you create in character creator?
no,
Oh,
and you really don't in any Oblivion game.
that's
It's
Yeah.
it's
fair. I
the
mean, I
it's what
guess.
an RPG is. You're creating a character and doing your thing.
No, I mean, I suppose it's fair.
Yeah, a lot of what you're dictating is kind of like a loose end of what your background is. Obviously, the race that you pick, and then the celestial sign that you pick, all of those things kind of dictate who you are as your character. So, um, all you can imagine is he just sees you in the dream as the guy that ends up saving them,
Okay.
and closing the gates of oblivion. Um, yeah, story wise, I think it's great. It's It's fairly simple, but there's enough intrigue. There's enough things kinda sitting on the side, even as you're kinda going through the main quest where, you know, these Daedric cults and why they're interested in killing the Emperor, why they're interested in taking that amulet, um, and kind of learning that as you're kind of going through. I think that's pretty decent writing. That's why I say, like, it's kind of surprising to think how deep this game got into some of those elements, um, when you consider the age of this game. And I know this is really stupid because I commented on the stream today that it was someone's job to write every single book in this game,
Yeah,
and
the
some of
lore
those
in this game's
books
crazy.
There's one that
some
was
of
like
those
45 pages at
yeah,
least.
it was huge. It's a huge, huge freaking book, and it was somebody's job to write that, and, I laughed 'cause I was like, "Who the heck would read this?" And I was like,
There's a lot of
"Probably a lot of
people.
people."
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are really into the lore because we'll get into it. There's well, I guess I'll say it now. A lot of people. There's a couple things people are upset about with this remastered. One of it is obviously with the character creator, which is a whole different segment. But one of the main things was kind of lore breaking. Did you guys ever deal with the Dark Brotherhood? I'm
Maybe?
assuming
I don't
no. You would
recall.
know. That's unfortunate because they're the one of the best quest lines. The Dark Brotherhood is a group of assassins. You only get approached by them if you murder somebody. But one of their quest lines eventually goes to a door. It has a picture on it that shows a mother murdering 5 children because that's the whole lore story. Because when you enter the crypt, you literally see her skeleton with 5 other children's skeletons. But in
Dang.
the remaster, they added 2 more children. So people were kind of like, "What the heck is this?" The story is she kills 5 children. Why is there now 7? And people are kind of upset. So people are debating: are they changing the lore, or did the artist just not understand the
Oh,
assignment?
hold up, hold up, hold up. What's so lore important about that, whether it's 5 or
I don't
7?
know. I mean, it's part of the Dark Brotherhood history.
Okay, yeah, so this is the stuff where I'm kind of like, I uh,
Exactly. Normal like us, you just see it and go, "Whatever, cool looking door, whatever." But no, it got changed.
yeah, I mean, it does make you wonder though, was w is there something change was there anything significant to her killing 5 kids?
I don't know. I didn't look too much into the
See,
history.
this is yeah, that's where you start to lose me a little bit, but, again, props to this game for having that type of stuff. Like you said, there are enough little mysteries, like, you would not know the Dark Brotherhood exists unless you murder someone, and then suddenly these guys approach you. Suddenly now they're there. I couldn't remember this too, so, just because 'cause you're talking about the Dark Brotherhood, are you able to join multiple factions?
Yep, you can join them all. There's no
Okay,
restriction.
And they don't,
okay.
like, counter each other or anything like
Nope,
that?
nope.
Okay. 'Cause yeah, I mean, I think I did join 2 of them because I was just like, I did. So I knew I could, but I wasn't sure if, like, doing one quest line might impact another negatively or something.
Yeah, I was kinda curious with that too. I ended up joining the first one that was offered to me, which I think is the Blades, but
That's you have to. That's story.
really?
Yeah, it's story
I didn't have a
mandatory.
choice?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm gonna knock it down a couple points for that. Uh, yeah, because but I remember there being a bunch of the factions. I remember the thieves. Wasn't there a merchant one too?
No, there's thieves, fighter, mage, Dark
Fighter.
Brotherhood, and the arena.
Oh, okay. I remember the arena too. I remember doing the arena stuff a lot
Yeah.
because it does rounds, right? Okay, I remember all that. Um, I do. I remember random things about this game, just random bits and pieces.
They like playing this, there's so much. This is what I loved about this remastered. Anytime you play an old game, like in your mind's eye, you picture something way different. Like this game was so much fun, graphically it was awesome, but then whenever you actually pick it up now, you're like, "Holy crap, this is rough." Like graphically, gameplay, this is rough. Like specifically, I remember they came out with GoldenEye. They finally released that on, Game Pass.
It's
And I was playing
terrible.
that and I'm like, "Whoa." I remember spending hours and hours on this game. I remember thinking graphically this game was great, but playing it now, it's like, this is rough. But with this remastered, this game is literally showing me the image in my mind's eye. This is how I pictured Oblivion
Yeah.
playing it. But obviously it's not how it is. But it feels it because it obviously has the same bones and everything in the story. So, like, that's what I think is so crazy is how well they hit this remastered of getting that nostalgia feel for me where I'm like, "Oh, man, I remember this story. I remember this quest line. I remember this Fighter Guild one where you're helping this lady with the rats, but the rats are actually her friends, so you don't wanna
Yeah.
kill the rats." Yeah, they're like these random stories. Like I remember moments of the Dark Brotherhood, and it's just like this is awesome because the Dark Brother has this awesome like murder mystery kind of mission that I remember was a ton of fun. But yeah, this game just hits so many moments of it. I will say the overall story, even playing it now, I remember being like, yeah, it's okay. And even now, I'm just like, yeah, world's ending. Got to save the prince. You'll stop the world from ending. Yeah, okay. I will say too, the thing I always hated about this game was the Oblivion gates. And actually playing it now, because I remember even back then being like, this place sucks. Graphically, I don't care for it. The environment, the enemies are like 3 enemies. I'm like, this sucks. Playing it now with the remastered, it feels way better. And because I always dreaded going those Oblivion gates, but now I'm just like, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of commentary online about hating the Oblivion gates, about that always being the worst element of this game. So I know that you mentioned it. Um,
Man, I didn't realize that because I thought it was like the only one.
What is it about? And I mean, other than I guess what you
It's
just described, because
you do
I
one, you do them all. They're all
I
exactly the same. They look the
okay,
same,
well, because
same enemies.
so that makes sense because, and I think this is kind of like what Aaron was saying. Like one of the I tried googling something about it, and one of the first memes that came up on Reddit, it was like, after I've done 10 Oblivion gates, and then parentheses, it was like, I think I've done 35, and it was them just running through like lava, running
Yeah.
past everything, just not doing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that checks out now.
And there's a
yeah,
ton of them. There's
yeah,
so many gates.
that I remember too. So I haven't run into a ton on this playthrough, but I do remember when I played this game originally, there being so many. Like I felt like
Are
I
they
was
all
coming
story
across them
driven too?
constantly,
No, they're optional.
Okay.
which is kind of odd because that
Yeah.
like is the point of the game. So what do you? I don't recall this. What do you get at the end of it? So you get to the ability that when you close it, it gives you something.
Yep. A sigil. You can use it to enchant a non-enchanted item. So
Okay.
it's not explained. Like this game obviously is very old, but when you read the description of item, you can actually toggle the menu. And so it gives you two options. If you enchant armor, it does this. If you enchant weapon with this, it does this.
Do each gate does it offer you a different type of
Yeah.
enchantment?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the encouragement. The encouragement is, hey, you're gonna get a lot stronger by doing these things.
But not really. Okay. This is still to this day irritates me. I remember when I heard about this when this game came out. This game has world leveling. So even though every time you're leveling your character, all the enemies level up.
That's dumb.
So it negates everything. So I'm at the point, everybody, even the most generic bandits, are wearing glass armor or Daedric armor. They're all decked out in armor that's cost 3,000 gold. And it's just like, okay, this is dumb. So you can never be a full on god in this game because everyone just levels up with you. And it's just, and
Was the original like that, or was the original
yes,
Yeah, I
yep,
remember that.
yep. And so even to this day, people are still kind of like, I kind of wish they got rid of that.
like,
I
or
think
at the
even
very least, like,
Bethesda
tone
admitted
it
that it
back?
wasn't. I know, yeah, I wish because even Bethesda said it was kind of not done properly, right?
Well, because like, I'm okay with it to a certain degree, is like, the way, like, Diablo does it, and even that starts to get a little bit off the rails, but for the most part, you stay enough of ahead of it, and even I don't know, it feels like your gaps grow at certain points, but you never feel like you're truly, I guess, godlike because there's always a bigger challenge to take on. And so I can appreciate that. But having it just no matter what you do, then I'm like, what's the point of even picking this up? I'll just use a rusty iron bow for the entire game for that matter.
N See, Diablo does it better, and this is where the enchantments in Oblivion would be useful because, yes, all the monsters are your level, but you've usually got a bunch of stuff that stacks you ahead of them in Diablo. So you can actually you do feel more powerful, even though things are world leveling with you. You do tend to feel more powerful with better gear, just because it's amplifying everything, it's stacking everything. Where in this game, it doesn't do that. Where that's what it should do. The enchantments should be your difference maker. Sure, everybody's going to level up with you, but you've got these things that now stack you above them, regardless. That's how it should play out, and that should encourage you to
To go,
go
yeah,
hunt
do
these
all these
portals.
gates.
Yeah.
That to me makes sense. If you just have everybody level with you so that it feels exactly the same, that's dumb. I do have can we shift into gameplay here?
I
I
mean,
was
we kind of already are.
I mean, I was
Okay.
just gonna ask you to break us down on how you close a portal, Aaron.
What you do is you walk through the portal 4 times, you walk into the church 7 times, you click on every single NPC you see,
And bribe them.
As Keith encouraged me on the stream, to bribe everyone. So I was bribing everyone for no reason. This is a visual thing. I was an idiot. So if anybody wants to go to the YouTube channel and watch the first stream, you will see me be an idiot for, I don't know, 30 minutes at least.
Oh, at least. I was watching Aaron's been streaming on our YouTube channel, so make sure you check it out. So Aaron did Oblivion. Aaron, you legitimately just have embodied Liz. It's
I
wild.
know. I know.
Like
It's
this,
embarrassing.
what you did was just straight up a Liz thing. Because it's so funny because like as Keith was like talking to you about it, of just like, hey, you should like do this. You're literally walking and it's prompting you on the screen, hit this button to go into the Oblivion Gate. And you just walk through it, clearly go into the town, and you're like walking around doing things. And I was just like, how are you not seeing this? It's literally telling you on your screen. Because even when you're entering the town, it says enter Kavach. And I don't know how you weren't like, oh, this isn't the Oblivion Gate, it's Kavach.
I mean, in all
So
fairness, I was watching him and I didn't notice that either. I was trying
that's
to give him other instructions, so I know
it
I know I
it's
wasn't much help.
very it would pop up very, very quickly. And so for any of you that have not played this, yeah, I'm literally helping you out right now. The very first Oblivion Gate that you run into,
Don't
you
physically
know that
run
there's
into it.
you can walk through it. So I assumed walking through it was me going into the Oblivion Gate. So we're watching it right now in video. I went into the Oblivion Gate there. I went, oh, cool, I'm in.
Then it said gate to Kavach, and you
It,
enter it.
but I assumed the Oblivion Gate brought you into like a world that was taken over. And that's where I was like, I kind of remember all this, but once I actually got into the Oblivion Gate, I was like, oh yeah, that's what the Oblivion Gate was. But it's not immediately obvious what I was supposed to be doing.
So
Okay,
I agree with you though, and that's the thing is like I'm Andrew's angry because he's got this deep sentimental. He like remembered this before he even played it. But truthfully, I was watching you and I didn't like I noticed that pop up, but I didn't register because visually it does look like you are walking through the portal. Is it
yes,
like and not just through the portal, but like it is transporting you to another area. It does a very weird visual thing and it looks good. It doesn't even look bad. It just doesn't indicate it well that that's what you need to do. And
yeah,
this is my biggest gripe really overall with the gameplay. And this is where I agree with you, Andrew, to a certain degree of, you know, let's keep all the jank and all the bare bones. But you know what? I feel like recognize some of these things that make it hard for someone who's never played this game to look for. And things aren't very well laid out. I found my biggest issue was trying to figure out where things need to go because a lot of things are time based. So someone says, "Hey, I'm going to go talk to you over in the square." So for 2006, actually, I gotta say it's kind of impressive. They're like, "Hey, I'll go meet me at the town square." In 2025, 90% of games, you're just gonna go to the square, and that person's already gonna be standing there, even though you never saw them leave that area, any of that. In Oblivion, you have to wait for them to walk there. Whether you walk with them or not is your choice, but they're gonna walk there. And so it doesn't tell you these things. You just kind of go on about the world and you're trying to figure out what's going on. Like I ran into it said it was a bug on the article I found on IGN where it was in that same kind of timeline where Aaron was getting stuck, where you have to like charge the courtyard. He's yelling at you to do that. I had this whole area wiped out. And like, what am I doing here? Like I walked in and out of that castle
Oh, yeah.
5
Oh,
or
the
6
castle. Yeah, that happened to me
and you
too.
just have to go and just search the body that's there, and I probably could have done that by accident, but I missed the body, and so, as a result, I walked around that place for a good 25 minutes having no clue what I was doing until I Googled it, and like, those are things that to a certain degree, I'm like, if you're gonna remaster the game, leave the fun little quirky bugs, like getting your 99 pickpocket or a 99 stealth early on, ones that can benefit the player. Don't give me this crap of leave a stupid bug like that. I don't know if that was in the original one. Fix that though. Like, it's not user friendly, and it made me angry.
I will say that was the only one I got hiccuped on with this remastered, and it's not even so much that I remembered. Because I will say, I think this game does a very good job at putting waypoints and showing you where to go. You just got to make sure you talk to NPCs properly because they'll say, "Hey, go to Jimmy Bob," and you got to make sure you tell them who's Jimmy Bob, and then they'll give you a marker. So like that was one hiccup that I've kind of quickly learned where it's like you got to make sure you talk to people all the way. But I also want to ask you, Keith, do you know you can fast forward time?
Yes.
Okay, because we were talking
I
about like waiting for people to walk to the square. It's like you
I
just fast forward
I mean, I was
time.
using that for, like, time to pass where it
Okay,
was like, "Hey, I need to talk to this person, they're in their house,
yeah.
but it's 2 a.m., so I can't do that." So I would just set it to wait for, like, 6 hours or whatever till they would come out of their house, or I could break in easily or something.
And this is what made Oblivion so revolutionary. This game started so many things that are just commonplace now for RPGs. This was like the first game that really had time and night cycles. Every NPC had a schedule. They were wandering around. They had tasks they did throughout the day. Like, and that's what everyone was roasting Avowed about when people were just standing around. Because it's like now when a game doesn't do that, it's very obvious. But this was like kind of the grandfather that did it. And same with the whole world leveling. Like this was the first game that really kind of did that. This game started so many things that are just commonplace now for RPGs. And I think it's funny, like when you see the cities in this game too, in today's standard, these cities are rinky dink small. I like in that
Yep.
beginning cutscene where you see the capital imperial city. It's like there's like 5 buildings. It's like, wow, this is really kind of rinky dink. But like this was the beginning. Like this is before anyone really had this kind of big open world RPG like this.
Uh, Sticking with gameplay here, I still don't like the combat. Uh, this actually this is the area where I think the game feels the most dated,
Yeah.
maybe in some of the dialogue. Um, but I've always complained melee is tough in first person because it sometimes lacks the weight when you're hitting something. And I realize now, oh wait, no, games are way better at this than they were back.
Remastered added weight. If you see gameplay of the original, it's
I
literally
remember
just like
this.
you swinging in the air.
I remember this, and there's still moments of that.
Yeah.
Like I was using a claymore, and that thing felt horrendous to use because it's a slower moving action, and you'd be like swinging it, and like enemies would just like kind of charge past you while you're in the process of still swinging this thing, and you can't really correct it. You're committed to this animation. There's nothing you can really do about it. You just got to finish it out, and there's a lot of that where it's like, "Ugh, this just feels gross. It doesn't feel very good." Uh, that I think is one of its worst areas. I would much rather, in my opinion, just play with a bow and arrow.
That's
The magic
pretty
didn't
much
feel bad either.
exclusively what
Like,
I was doing.
yeah, throwing fireballs didn't feel too bad, but it was like mostly the swords. I thought the swords just they were really tough. To me, it is the worst feeling thing about the game is that
I was gonna, yeah, ask how did you guys build your characters?
Well, so I think that's where I got kind of fortunate, and or maybe that's part of why even I gravitated towards bows is I think I picked a rogue or an assassin. It was one of the classes that boosted like agility and the like. So I kind of prepped myself to play for it to begin with, but I pretty much if I couldn't sneak attack with my bow, I was like, I'm just gonna not engage in that fight. Or
really?
well, I mean, obviously there's ones you had to, because like you like you walk into a room and there's a monster in front of you, I would use a sword typically for that. But even for the most part, because again, it's still, despite the look and feel, the pieces of the game that they didn't remaster, and in this case, right, wrong, or indifferent, is that AI is still a little bit questionable, and you'll walk
Yeah,
into a room
AI
and
is
it's
No,
like
it's
very
stupid.
goofy. It's
It's
three.
not
stupid, yeah.
questionable, it's just stupid.
Okay, fair. It's like a good 3 to 5 seconds before they register that you're in the room. Now that will it give you the sneak attack? Probably not. It technically registers that they've seen you, but they haven't reacted.
They haven't acknowledged you.
No, they have not. They haven't even started moving. But yeah, so like even that, like I could kind of get away with a bow and arrow. I think my blades was actually still fairly high because I went with like an assassin type of build so I could do daggers and stuff. But truthfully, I really didn't do a lot of melee. Pretty much just bow and arrowed everything.
Yeah, I went wood elf, and I went heavy into speech and speed. I wanted to be fast talking wood elf. Was kind of my goal. I don't know what acrobatics does, but I was really good at my acrobatics. I'm pretty sure that probably prevented some fall damage and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
prevents fall damage, and I think you can jump higher, and it consumes less stamina when you jump.
Yeah, who cares? But that's the one I did. So, it was fine. So he also was good with blades, which is like, "Oh, that sucks." Like, I would've just gone just straight archer and just ran around with bows, because that's pretty much how I played it.
So I've played a lot of Elder Scroll games, and I've never actually straight up done a only magic build. So that's what I did. I did a
Yeah.
wizard, high elf, and man, it is so easy to level up your magic in this game. So if people don't know, when you're picking your class, you have 10, I do believe, major skills. These ones level you up very quickly, and then everything else is considered a minor skill. You can still level up if you're leveling up your both major and your minor. Your major levels you up faster than your minors do. So you're never stuck in whatever you pick at the beginning. So even though I'm a wizard, I'm still using swords and everything else and doing all that. It's just much slower. But anytime you level up like so many points, you can actually level up your character, add attribute points. For me though, like magic in this game is so easy to level up because you get your experience points determine how much magic the spell is using. So if you can create your spells, you can just create, a restoration spell that uses the most amount of mana that you have within your skill limit and you just spam it. Just keep spamming it. So I'm a level 26. I think I'm like 10, yeah, I think I'm like 11 or 12 hours in and I'm at 26.
Jeez. Yeah, I will say, I do love the leveling system in this game. Um, we've kinda talked about this again on previous episodes, but I'm just kind of a sucker for just, like, things you do level
Yeah,
up
it
a thing,
levels up.
which I know is really big in, like, RuneScape. It's really big in games like Valheim. The new RuneScape game, Dragon Wilds, it's also in there. But, like, just even just stupid things you're doing, like, "Oh, fishing. Well, guess what? You have skills to level up in fishing." I'm a sucker for that. And so, this having a bunch of major and minor skills, like just jumping for me, since I have acrobatics, was giving me stuff. Sprinting was doing something. Sneaking was doing something. I love that. I
Yeah,
don't
me
know. I'm
too.
just a sucker for it. I love the idea of feeling like no matter what I'm doing, I'm leveling something up in this process. That to me that scratches an itch for me.
Well,
I
and
oh,
and it helps too, is that they give you a little pop-up in the right-hand corner of the screen every time. Like,
Yes.
if all of
That
that was
dopamine
happening,
hit.
yeah, if
dopamine hit,
if it
yeah.
was all just happening in the
And that
background,
sound, dun, dun,
that would
dun.
it would all be fine and well, and I'd be keeping tabs on it and like, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna focus on doing this little thing or whatever." But the fact that it gives you those pop-ups, like, you do a little jump for no reason, and you level
Yep.
up your acrobatics, like, I'm
Yeah.
You
gonna keep
talk to
jumping now.
somebody, you sell something,
I'm
and
gonna
dun,
keep
dun,
jumping now.
dun.
I'm gonna keep jumping now.
Yeah.
I thought I don't know how to get to my if I can get to my clips from that I took on Xbox, but one made me laugh because I jumped off a cliff and it leveled up my acrobatics. Like, I
As you
jumped
died.
into lava and just died, yeah,
Yeah.
but as I'm falling,
Yeah.
it's just like, "Da-dun," it pops up my acrobatics
I
leveling up.
wonder what that is when your dopamine gets leveled out with serotonin at the same time. What is
It's
that?
like, "Oh."
That feels good, but oh.
But I wanna do a quick side since we're talking about, you know, doing stupid things that you get rewarded for it. Have you seen, Outer Worlds 2 that's coming out, the new RPG? Did
Yes.
you see the stupid things they're gonna be building with you with the perks?
No.
Not so far, no?
So if you are somebody, if you're playing RPGs, and I do this, I know I'm a big candidate of this, and you're pressing A to like skip dialogue fast, you'll get a like perk called like fast talker. And it's like, hey, all dialogue is now timed, but you also get like a benefit where it's like, oh, but your speech is better. If
It's
your
awesome.
character stares at the sun too long, you get sun blindness and you can regenerate health, but your vision's slightly blurred. Like it
I
has
like
these really
this.
dumb things. The more you're just playing the game in a weird, goofy way, they have these hidden perks that they kind of throw at you to kind of slightly insult you.
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
so it's like I can't wait for that.
I before we forget, just because we're coming to the end of the gameplay talk, this game performs a cardinal sin.
Oh
We
yeah, I wanna
mentioned
check.
this.
This game performs a cardinal sin. This is a cardinal sin we talked about. I'm trying to think of what game we were playing where I said, like, this should never exist in video games. What's the jump button in this game?
Why? But now I didn't look.
Oh, Tectonica.
Can
Tectonica's the game where
Tectonica.
you
can
That's
you
what it was.
remap it though? Because I didn't look at that, but it
Here's the
did
thing.
make me mad.
Listen, I understand. People will get in the comments and they'll say, just remap it. Make your jump A, make your interact Y.
jump has always
I
been wide in all Elder Scroll
I
games, I will
should
say.
never have to do that. I don't care.
I shouldn't even
It's
have
a
to think about.
cardinal sin. A is permanently the jump button, and that's just universal. It's been that way forever.
Yeah, the
So
amount
when
of
I
times
played
I
this,
hit A trying to jump and not jumping,
oh, I
made me real
for
sad.
for for probably a good, like, 15, 20 minutes, I didn't think a jump existed in this game.
Even
Well,
though
because it doesn't
even though
tell
your
you.
major skill's acrobatics,
I was a
no
little
jumping.
confused because I'm
Maybe it's
walking around
mantling, maybe it's
and
chi slide.
I kept going to hit A for things. I was like, "Oh, they must not have a jump in this game because naturally, if your A is not jumping, then there is no other way to jump."
Because A
So
can be interact and jump. That's another crazy thought.
it
It can
exists in
actually
mini
do
games.
both.
It
No.
exists in many games.
Aaron,
This
we remember we played The Descendants, and that game had A interacted, A jump, and you're trying to pick up ammo and you're just jumping around like an idiot? No, you cannot map those things at the same time.
Ammo
you
should be
can't.
auto pickup at all times. That's another
That's also
conversation.
true.
But you had an open chest.
My whole point is cardinal sin. Interact should be Y then, A should be jump. So just and I should not have to go into my menus to change that. That's on you, the developers, to understand that A is always jump, just naturally is.
I mean,
Glad I got that out of the way.
it would be like them remastering Morrowind and making you look for a black and a white button. Not gonna do it. It doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, what do they do with that now?
I mean, they're just bumpers,
Left and
aren't
right
they?
bumper. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the bumpers.
That's the black and whites now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it was just triggers before.
That's an old a Duke controller problem.
I miss that controller. I love the Duke.
That the Duke was a good controller. That was a solid controller. Wait, it was almost as big as the console, and there's something special about that.
I don't think I've ever heard of someone breaking a Duke controller. Like, that
No,
thing was so solid.
You weren't gonna
no,
snap one of those in half, that's for sure.
no,
No.
you didn't need a Mad Catz to replace your Duke. You never did.
No, I had a roommate in college who straight up snapped one of my PlayStation 2 controllers in half, but, like, it
For
Nice.
fun?
out of anger. It was Need for Speed Underground. That
Alright.
game was rage inducing.
I have never
I wasn't even mad because I was like, "Yeah, I kinda get that," and I think it was, like, my 2nd controller anyways.
never broken a peripheral like that. I've never
Neither
smashed a
have I.
controller.
Yeah, neither have I.
I've
No,
never been that angry.
I might have slammed one once, but if I slammed it, it was into the couch. But yeah, and the amount of times I play video games, yeah, I don't think I've ever thrown or broken a peripheral because I know those things are expensive. And I don't want to pay for a new one. I'm too cheap to be angry.
Smart, smart.
Yeah, because I always remember growing up, and you always get that crappy Mad Catz controller that always sucks. No one ever wants that controller.
Nobody did. Nobody wanted the Mad Catz. The Mad Catz was like, that was a kiss of death. Thing was always
You
awesome.
always give it to your friend that came to visit.
Yep. He got stuck with the Mad
Everyone
Catz.
had that controller.
Yep.
But all right, let's get to the graphics though. I will say this remastered is gorgeous. All right, Aaron, you said you don't remember what the original looked like. I do kind of agree with you. Like it does. This game is built on like two engines. Like it is kind of odd that they don't let you flip flop. But that being said, if you ever look at the original, so this is the other thing this game also brought to the gaming world, and that was the bloom effect, which is just those really brights that just really saturate the screen. This game just blew it out of the water. Just everything had bloom on it. It was just super bright and so saturated. But because of that, this game like had the graphical milestones of you first stepping out of that sewer and seeing the world in the sunshine. This game was so famous for it. And I gotta say, didn't quite hit me for nostalgia. It still looked great, but it just didn't quite hit that. And then there was another moment. I'm assuming you guys didn't play the DLC, but this game has one of the best, I will argue, one of the best DLCs of any game, and that's the Shivering Isles. Awesome world, very fun. But that whole transition where you're in a room getting interviewed, and the guy's like, you go through the door to enter the world, but you don't go through the world. As you're sitting in the chair, literally the walls blow up with butterflies everywhere, and it just opens up this world. And it was graphically stunning back in the day. In this one, it still looks very good, but it just, I remember as a kid being like, oh my God, butterflies.
I I mean, that's fine. Like, with the times, some of those things are gonna change, and you can't you've now seen so many amazing things in video games that going back there and
Yeah,
trying to
we're just
recreate
jaded.
it's just not gonna work the same way, and that's totally fine. It doesn't have to. Um, and so, yeah, that's where the game looks good. Like, I don't look at this game and say it looks bad. If there is something graphically that does bother me on this game, it's people's mouths.
Or
When
their
they're t
eyes. Their
when they're
eyes also look
talking,
creepy.
it looks like it looks like someone did a poor Photoshop where they just kinda stretched the lips up and down. That's kinda what
Yes,
it
they're
looks like
so
a lot,
bad.
where it's just like, "Rah,
The
rah, rah, rah," and it's like, What is this?"
the guy
That
you talk to when you're getting the books, he's, like, in a
Yeah,
tavern. He has this weird, like, "Hey,
yeah,
it's so exciting that we're gonna get these books together."
yeah, I don't the
It's
the
terrifying.
mouths are a problem for me, but that's mouths seem to be an issue in a lot of different video games, so that's not, like, completely out of the question, but graphically, it's the only thing that, like, stuck out to me as, like, that's not great. Everything else I saw a side by side of, like, the Emperor. Holy
Yeah.
smokes. Like, if I know this doesn't have, like, a live obviously, you can pull up videos of the older Oblivion game, and you can obviously pull up the remaster stuff, and you can compare it side by side. It just sometimes that's one of my favorite features of the Master Chief Collection, is the ability to just, on the fly, switch your graphics because it just gives you those moments of appreciation where you're like, "I cannot believe I looked at this crap before and thought this looked good." That just feels good, to get that in real time, so, but again, game looks good. It's not the most beautiful game I've ever seen, but it's still graphically looks great.
No,
Yeah, like, look at that. Like, that's
In the
just
original, he looks like he's, like, maybe 40, but in the remastered, he looks like he's, like, 70.
but
yeah.
that's exactly it, like, you said, like, if I were to put myself back in 2006 and look at these graphics, like, "Oh my gosh, he looks so realistic.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah,
look at
you
that brightness on his face. He's so
Like, yeah, do
pretty."
you see the bloom? His face is, like, literally is
you
so white.
you would start to argue, like, those are the type of games you'd look at and you'd be like, "Graphics cannot get better
Yeah,
than
how
this."
how can
Yeah,
they exceed this?
Yeah,
And
like, this is as good as it's getting. Yeah.
yeah. That's what I like, though, like, so overall, the world looks great, but, yeah, the characters still look so kinda goofy looking. I love the armor designs look so much more detailed. Like, they did such a good job graphically with this game.
They did.
Uh 'Cause, oh, man, because especially too, like I said, the Oblivion gates are at least more enjoyable because they're more visually pleasing. Man, back in the day, the Oblivion gates just look so bland. Even back then, with these graphics, and being good for the time, I still remember the Oblivion gates being like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm sick of seeing this." But, the voice acting, man, the voice acting in this game, they did not touch it, which is great. Um, it to the point where it's hilarious. But, some of the voice acting, they actually added some new lines, but you will notice it. This is what I mean. If you've never played this game, stick with it. You'll learn its charm, its goofy weirdness to it, because there is like only 4 voice actors. So you literally will have the same voice actor doing
yeah,
this 2
Patrick
different
Stewart,
characters.
Sean Bean. and then
Okay,
some
yeah,
other
obviously
guy
some of the main
and
characters,
another
but
female.
generic NPC people, you'll literally hear the same guy essentially having a conversation with himself of 2 NPCs talking to each other. It's so funny. Oh, man. Here, and I'll share it. Of course, one of the most iconic things. So this game is full of memes. If you have never looked up videos of Oblivion, this game is unintentionally hilarious, and it's awesome. Highly recommend just go to YouTube and just, Google Oblivion, like, memes or just funny moments, and there's just a ton. But there's a one line that was in the original game. It's a straight up blooper of the voice actress saying a line and going, "Oh, hold on, let me do that again."
And then she literally does it.
The thieves broke into the Arcane University, the Imperial Legion compound, and the temple all on the same night. Wait a minute, let me do that one again. I heard the thieves broke into the Arcane University, the Imperial Legion compound, and the temple all on the same night.
What's amazing about this, if you're not watching the video, is it does the side by side of the original and then the remaster. The original one, her voice just her mouth stops moving when she redoes the
That's
line,
it.
and the second one, she she does it again. She just starts talking again. Her mouth starts moving, and then that
She
freaky mouth.
Her mouth even moves when she says, "Hold on, let me do that again."
Yeah, like that's pretty incredible. That is awesome that they kept that in.
Yeah, I that's what I mean. Like this game is just so goofy, and you just gotta appreciate it. I wish we had a younger like I wish we had Liz on here to see if she actually enjoyed it because as she was watching me play this a lot, and she kept saying she's like, "Man, when did this game come out?" Because she's like, graphically it looks great, but some of these moments are really goofy.
This makes no sense.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys want to say any more about the voice acting. The music still is also great. The soundtrack in this game is also very iconic.
I I mean, hats off to Bethesda because I think really the entire probably most of the more modern Elder Scroll games, so maybe like Oblivion up, just the orchestral work that they do in these games is incredible. And I know a few weeks ago we reviewed South of Midnight, and I said that was an all-time. I think it's an all-timer soundtrack that I think might get overlooked in the history of time. But
How many times have you
these
listened to that soundtrack since we played that game, Aaron?
these ones
I've
are
actually
ones
played it since, for the record.
I've actually heard it a few times. In fact, I watched a mini documentary on the making of it. It was awesome. So nice try, Andrew. Um, uh, but there are some songs off of the Elder Scrolls games that are just, I mean, just stunning. It is. There was a moment in this game where I'm riding my horse. Riding a horse sucks, but I'm riding a horse and the music is playing, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I mean, this is like Hollywood-esque level good. Like, it doesn't feel half-baked. It feels like somebody had a total idea on how they wanted to create this song right here, and it was so good.
Look at
Um,
these plays on Spotify.
I mean,
That's
millions.
insane.
11,000,000, 23,000,000, 12,000,000, 14,000,000, 12,000,000.
That's
You
what I'm
don't see a
saying.
lot.
Like, Skyrim has this one song that is genuinely one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. Genuinely, Skyrim has this one song, I think it's like Welcome to Winterfell or something with Winterfell in it, and it is just stunningly beautiful. And this song has versions of that too, where it's just this is incredible, incredible. Again, hats off to them for not half doing this. They went in and it is a full orchestra writing this music. When you're talking about the greatest soundtracks of all time, I imagine these ones have to come up in those conversations pretty regularly.
But, all right. But anyway, let's get into, so the achievements of this game. I overall would recommend it for achievement hunters. Obviously, it's gonna take you some time. Like, that's the great thing about playing this game. Like, it's an RPG, but it didn't feel like a job. Like, usually when you're doing an RPG, you're like, "I gotta commit to this, remember things." This was like an RPG I felt like I could jump in, do a quest because the quests are generally pretty quick. Go to this location, kill some people or collect a thing, and there you go. That's it. So, like, to me, I felt like I was sprinting in this game, but honestly, all I've fully completed was the arena, and I'm almost done with the Mages Guild. And it's like, still haven't touched the fighters, still haven't touched the thieves. I've only done a little bit of the Dark Brotherhood. So it's like there's still so much for me to do. But as far as the achievements go, they're all super easy. Literally every time you level up with a faction, there's an achievement. Every time you do a segment in the main story, there's an achievement. So there's not a hard achievement in this game. It's very easy to 1,000. So I highly recommend it for achievement hunters. And they kept them. It's the same achievements from the original.
Okay, so you can just redo all that. I it's weird. I don't know. Maybe I haven't done enough of them. I don't want to say like these quests seem like dragged out, but like even thinking like the rat one, I was like every time I thought I'd be done with it, it was one where like actually go do this now. Oh wait, actually go investigate and talk to my neighbor. Now that's one sideline quest at least. But I just felt like it was just an ongoing string of, unless that's the only quest you do for the Fighters Guild. But I assume you
That's
do.
probably the longest one now that I think about it. It's
Really?
like one
Because
of them. Yeah.
and like I said, it's not even extremely long, but partially it was like for me, it was like about timing of like trying to figure out when I could find the person behind the house and like things like that. It was a weird thing. So I don't necessarily think they're long, but I also don't know that it's like, oh, here's just these like quick hit missions. But I don't either way.
Maybe it's because I at least knew that one, so I was able to sprint through it. That could be the difference. But anyway, I guess we should let's get our final thoughts here. So for me, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. I love this game. Like I said, I had it in high school. To me, this was one of the defining games I remember in my high school of like that and Halo, of like having so much fun with it. Like just seeing it for the first time, it just blew my mind. It revolutionized a lot of things that we see in just RPGs today, how the open world works. I do think it's funny that this remastered has all the DLC. I've been seeing some people get upset about it, which I think is ironic. But one of the other famous things Oblivion was for is they had, I think it was originally like $3 or $4 for horse armor.
Yeah.
Did nothing to the horse. It was just decoration. I remember our friend Brian bought it, and even I made fun of him where I'm like, dude, it's literally just a decoration. Like, why would you do that? Which is ironic because literally any free to play game, you're just buying skins and you're spending
Yeah.
$20
Yeah.
for essentially seeing gloves on your character because you don't see your character's model in a lot of these games. But of course, this came out with a deluxe version, which had horse armor. So some people were like, oh, I can't believe they're charging for horse armor, which is very ironic that people back in the day made fun of it and they're making fun of it today. But good on them for doing it. It's kind of funny. I feel like they did it ironically to be kind of funny. Um, but I just think it's funny too that people are complaining about it. But as it goes, all the actual gameplay DLCs here, I was doing it a little bit of the Shivering Isles, which I think is a ton of fun. Highly recommend that DLC. If you've played Oblivion, absolutely check this out. This is a no-brainer, definite game. If you have someone who have never played Oblivion and you've only seen Skyrim, like I said, give it a couple hours. You'll start to see why this game is so charming, and like this is the game that kind of started it all. It'll take some time because I remember when I first started playing this, I was like, this is dated. But the more I kept playing it, I was like, this is a blast. This still holds up. I'm having a lot of fun. I do agree with Aaron. The combat is still kind of its weakest moment. Magic was kind of fun. All my magic was mostly like touching range. So I just looked like a molester going around touching people and they fall over dead, which was always kind of made me chuckle. But I
And
thought the combat
massaging
was
all
still
the
a lot of
enemy
fun.
shoulders. Just
Yeah.
uncomfortably like, ugh, I just want to die right now. This is so uncomfortable.
Massaging them. But no, this game is it's still full of funny moments. This game is still making me laugh over just goofy things of people flying through the sky. For me, like I said, as a person who's played it, to me, this is a 90. If you're someone who's never played it, I feel like if you've never played this game before, you may would give it like an 80. But for me, this is a 90. I had a ton of fun with this. I'm going to keep playing this for sure.
So Andrew, it's funny you should say that. I I I have very, very loose ties and memories of Oblivion originally. I remember it being like a really cool, innovative RPG for its day. To this, and I said it at the beginning, like you can point to a lot of things that like these are in games today that because they did it, and I'm sure there's other aspects of it, but like those like individual every little task you do level something up, things like that are just I feel like something they've really mastered. And so it was great to see all those things just come back. Everything about the way this remaster is, well, some of them I think are kind of neat, like I said, those kind of homage bugs to leave for like that benefit the players, but to leave the overall jankiness to it this is really just a nostalgia trip for people who loved Oblivion and want to see it through the mind's eye, as you said. It really doesn't add any value that you're like, hey, you have to do this. They've done everything better this time. This is what it was missing the first time. If you didn't see it then, you'll see it now. I don't think that it's a bad game though. It's just that it doesn't move the needle from the original one outside of the graphics. So if you loved the original, you're gonna love this. If you probably would have because you like that style of games, then yeah, you'll probably like this. But I still think that ultimately there's probably, and don't ask me to do it off the top of my head because I can't. But I'm gonna guess that I could probably come up with a list of at least 5 games that are similar enough, but I would recommend to play over this game. That said, I still give it a game, and I think it's worth what it is. And I was gonna give it actually, I think about low 80s. I think I'm gonna settle on an 82.
You know, Keith and Andrew are both right here, just in different levels. Like, I think a new person could come and play this game, and yeah, if you give them some time with it, I think they could enjoy it. But I also agree with Keith that I think this is really is kind of a nostalgia trip for people that remembered this game and maybe you had fond memories of it, maybe you just kind of have passing memories of it. It would still be something you'd pick up and you'd be like, "Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember when this was a thing." So I do think both are correct here. I think the modern let's just say, all right, like we're getting into older age here. We're older. We were around when these games came
We're
out.
old folks now.
If if I were let's just say I'm 19 years old and is this going to be the game that hooks me? No. I think like Andrew had mentioned, this is kind of a grandfather to what the modern kind of RPG looks like. You might find the gloss and cleanliness of the newer ones more enjoyable. But again, you might appreciate some of the elements here. So it really is kind of in this. I want to say that this is how remasters should be done. They should just look good, but keep the charm. Like that, refine it where it needs the refining. Yes, there are probably some other things that could have been refined in this, but for the most part, this feels like what a remaster should feel like. Um, for me, this is an 80. It's a good game. I had some fun with it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it's not for
It's just not
everybody.
for you.
Because it is in a way kind of for me. But if you are somebody that just especially likes RPGs, you've probably already played this. But if you haven't, this is a great time to do it.
I mean, apparently it's for 120,000 people on the Steam charts.
Well, again, it's a nostalgia hit. Nostalgia will always do that to you.
Oh, and I did forget to mention, for time to beat, main story, you're looking at 27 and a half hours. For main and side quests, you're looking at about 85 hours.
See,
Oh, that's the original Oblivion. Well, this one, because the original Oblivion did not have a sprint.
Oh, that's true.
I, and it doesn't need to be a big talking point, but I found that the sprint was faster than the horse, and that was kind of
Yeah, I never
disappointing.
used the horse.
I was like, gosh,
Horse
this
sucks.
horse is just a waste of time. So there's your pro tip for you, or your
I
not
mean, the
pro
horse
tip.
made sense back in the day when you didn't have sprint.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
But
but
anyways,
this game has fast travel.
yeah. But
Fast
anyways,
travel's your horse.
Man, I forgot pro tips.
you
Quick pro tips
you
for
don't want
me.
to fast travel because there's so much to do. You like
Yeah,
want
but
to do
still,
all of it, I guess.
sometimes you're
But
not
also
gonna
you
have it.
don't because then the world's leveling up with you. I don't know. We've covered all this.
Couple pro tips for me. One, like I said, do the Dark Brotherhood. Best quest line. You got to murder somebody.
Do
I remember
murder.
when I was
Got
in
it.
high school, I did it by accident. It was one of those battle scenes. I actually killed one of the soldiers, and so I didn't get in trouble for it, but it was considered murdered.
You're like clips actually. I
Yeah.
can't believe I didn't point this out. Oh, because this is built on an old school game, I'll keep this short. Everything is built on saves. It's why, if you jump off and you gain some level, you die, it goes back to your last save. It doesn't just revive you. So I said, okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. I just got Martin back to the Cloud Temple, and I said, I wonder what happens if I just attack Martin. Well, I started attack. The guards ganged up on him with me. So just
Let's
like
kill this man.
beating the crap out of the new.
See, this is what I mean. This is the funny charm of the game.
I have no idea how it happened, but it
You're
was
like,
so
I'm so
goofy.
sorry. I'm
I was like, wait,
sorry.
you guys are supposed to kill me. Protect him.
Which, yeah,
He
this
he
autosave is
gets
fantastic.
he just gets knocked out and carries on with
Oh,
his life.
good.
I was
Yeah, if you
really
go to talk
I was really hoping it would, like, alter the game somehow if I could.
if you go to talk to somebody, if their symbol is a crown, it means they're like a main quest person, you can't kill them, but anyone else you can kill. So a lot of people you can kill in this game. My other pro tip, the lockpick in this game sucks. So my pro tip, get to level 10. And if you go northeast of Leowin, which is like the very south island town by the water, there's a statue called Nocturne. It's a Daedric god, gives you a very simple mission, but when you complete that mission, he gives you an unbreakable lockpick. Literally every lock you just XXXXX and just auto pick, and you will get all of them because it is unbreakable. That is game changing because I hate the lock picking in this game. But those are
Great
my two
tip.
big pro tips. Yeah. But anyway, all right. So thank you all so much for joining us this week. We're gonna wrap it up here. Aaron's ready to get out of here.
We've been an hour and 20 minutes. Let's
I know.
go.
Like I said, please join us on our Discord, our YouTube, and all other things. Thank you all who write in, comments on our Spotify episodes. Join us on our YouTube. We love hear from you guys. We always love getting feedback from you all. Tell us what you want to change, what we could do better, how we can get rid of Keith. We always love hearing it. Or you can email us at gamepassgrabback@gmail.com. But you can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird at 0195. Wait, that was my email.
Yeah, what the heck was that?
52 at X on Xbox Live.
Hey, golly. I've been Keith. You're not getting rid of me. We cycled through Liz, guests, Aaron. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. You can join our Reddit page that Aaron created, though, because he doesn't want to do an outro, and I'll make that his outro for him. So if you're not
Yeah,
on
I did
Discord
do-
or any other things, do our Reddit or go to our
Yeah,
Reddit.
jump on a Reddit. I'm the only one posting on there.
I
So I'm
upload all
posting
your posts. I follow it.
interesting thoughts and pros. Yeah, so I'm Aaron. Who knows? They might kick me off this podcast before Keith.
I mean, yeah, we'll probably start putting some gaming news on there because we actually been thinking about doing some gaming news episodes. So probably incorporate both of them. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining us. We love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.